welcome back to my channel, Rosha from KitKat Fun. So, sorry that we haven't been making another video on the story time, but just a reminder, it's The Adventures of Tom Sawyer story time by Rosha. And so, yeah, I forgot what chapter we were on. So let's go see. Well, it's basically okay, so sorry. We were reading, I think this was The Birthday Boy. So we were reading The Birthday Boy, and now we're reading chapter 4, The Spelling Bee. So let's start. So we have our fancy little bookmark. Put it right there for now. So let's get started. The Spelling Bee. Okay. It was Monday morning, time for school. Tom Sawyer was running as fast as he could. He didn't want to be late. Tom ran past a big tree. A sign was on it. It said that the circus was coming to town. Here's the sign. Tom stopped running. How he wished he could go to the circus. Too bad he had spent all his allowance. The bell was ringing. Tom made it to class just in time. Is this way comfortable? Okay. Hello, Tom, Becky said. She smiled at him. Tom felt his face get hot. Everyone said Becky was the prettiest girl in school. Hello, Becky, Tom said. Then he bloomed his face in his lesson book. Mr. Masters was their teacher. I have a surprise, class, he said. We are having a spelling bee. The winner will get a ticket to the circus. The class turned to look at Edward. Edward was the smartest boy in school. He always won the spelling bees. Here's Edward, and there's Mr. Masters. Tom looked at Becky. Now she was smiling at Edward, not Tom. Right then and there, Tom decided he would win the spelling bee, even if it meant studying his spelling words. The spelling bee was later that afternoon. Tom studied during lunch. He studied during recess, too. He studied the spelling words until he knew them backward and forward. Tom had never studied so much in his life. At last, it was time. The students stood next to their desks. Whoever spelled a word wrong had to sit down. The last one standing would be the winner. Tom was so nervous. He couldn't keep still. Look at his eyes. Okay, next page. Tom got his first word right. He got his next word right. He got the ones after that right. Soon Tom, Edward, and Becky were the only ones left standing. Then it was Edward's turn. To everyone's surprise, he did not spell his word right. Now it was between Tom and Becky. Who would be the winner? Mr. Masters put down the spelling list. We have used up the words on this list, he said. We must use a new list. He looked out another paper. Oh no, thought Tom. I did not study that list. Oh, look at his eyes. It is your turn, Tom, Mr. Masters said. Spell circus. Tom gulped. He wanted to go to the circus, but he could not spell it. Tom, said Mr. Masters. Tom gulped again. He looked out the window. He saw a clown walking by. The clown was carrying a sign. It said, "Come see the circus." There it is, thought Tom. That's the word I need to spell. Tom looked around to make sure no one had seen the sign. Then he said, "Circus, CIRCUS. That is correct," said Mr. Masters. Then it was Becky's turn. Her word was cheater. Cheater, Becky said. CHEETER. I'm sorry, Becky, said Mr. Masters. That is not correct. Becky sat down. Tom was the only one still standing. He had won the contest. Mr. Masters handed Tom the ticket. Tom was going to the circus. All his friends shook his hand. They told him what a good job he had done. There's the ticket. Becky came up to him. She looked very sad. I so wanted to go to the circus, she said, but you deserve the prize. You are a good speller. You were good too, Tom told Becky. She shook her head. I couldn't spell cheater, she said. I bet you can. You are so smart. Okay. Tom gulped. He did not feel smart. He felt awful. He might not know how to spell cheater, but he knew what one was. I am a cheater, Becky, Tom burst out. I saw the word circus on the sign outside. That's how I won. Tom apologized and gave Becky the ticket. Tom was very sad. No circus for him. Plus, Becky would probably never smile at him again. Tom could not look at Becky when he gave her the ticket. Thank you, he heard her say. Now I have something for you. For me? Tom asked. Yes, said Becky. Then she gave Tom not only a big smile, but a big hug too. What was that for? Tom asked in surprise. That, Tom, she said, was for doing the right thing. The end. So that was that chapter, the spelling bee, and the next chapter is To Stick for School. but we're not gonna, so you'll have to check that out in a different video. And we'll probably do that video tomorrow, but bye! Thanks for watching.